combatants who laid siege to Guantanamo Bay Christmas Day were a hodgepodge of treasonous troops and feckless federal agents who claimed they had been ordered to rescue the now-deceased Nancy Pelosi and, if possible, liberate the naval base from rogue military elements acting in contravention of the United States Constitution, sources in General David H. Berger's office told Real Raw News. Gitmo staff, he said, took prisoners of war from an enemy chopper that Marines shot down near McCall Airfield. 13 men survived the crash, while 20, including the pilots, perished when the Sea Stallion helicopter fell from the sky and struck terrain. Gitmo Medical treated the survivors' wounds, concussions, compound fractures, lacerations, and puncture wounds, before deciding who among them could withstand interrogation. According to sources, every chopper occupant wore military fatigues, unit patches, and insignia, even though only 5 of the 33 belonged to the armed forces. 10 survivors wore insignia of the 10th Mountain Division, a light infantry division based at Fort Drum, New York, but only 3, a second lieutenant and 2 E-5s, were attached to the unit. The other 7, our source said, were agents of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They were very reluctant to talk, our source said. Conventional interrogation techniques proved futile, so we had to resort to unconventional, unorthodox techniques to get them to open up. They all told a similar story. They belong to a joint task force organized by their commander-in-chief, Joseph R. Biden, to free American hostages from military separatists in control of Guantanamo Bay. Neither FEMA nor the soldiers had a rational explanation as to why they had been asked to serve side by side. "Those were our orders," was the unified response. Nor could FEMA explain why they were disguised as U.S. Army soldiers. Strange orders, but that's what they were. "And we followed our orders," the highest-ranking agent, a regional supervisor, reportedly said under interrogation. His orders, he said, came directly from FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell. He made another shocking admission. He claimed FEMA commanded the amphibious assault craft that oversaw the operation and that military personnel aboard the ship were present to augment FEMA's numbers. 1,500 FEMA agents and 350 military advisors, he said, were aboard the Wasp-class vessel. He revealed under pressure that their primary mission was to save Nancy Pelosi, and stage a large-scale assault only if Gitmo appeared underdefended. He seemed oblivious to the ship's initial point of origin, saying that the State Department had flown FEMA from Dulles International Airport to Caracas, Venezuela, from where they traveled 300 kilometers by bus to the shipping port of Guanta, where the partially staffed behemoth was berthed. He said, and he was in no position to lie, that FEMA and Biden loyalists were already on the ship when his team got there. He believes the ship right now is probably anchored somewhere along the Venezuelan coast. The soldiers substantiated much of his story, our source said. When asked whether White Hats had recovered corpses or survivors from the other 2 choppers and the disabled mechanized landing craft, our source said he'd have more answers soon.